Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Mama Christine's podcast, Living Life Through Experience, week number 3 for this year. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, I've really been thinking about, different things and whatnot. And one of the things that comes to mind very strongly is everybody is on their path to, it's the new year, right? New year, new me, the whole thing, and manifesting and sending intentions and affirmations. And, sometimes we get stuck. And when we get stuck, it's like, well, what do I do? It's like, well, so-and-so's doing that. Maybe I should do it. Or this is happening over here. Maybe I should do that. Nobody ever looks within and says, what should I do for me? Again, it's about not following everybody else. Just following your own path. So I'm going to use the Life Purpose deck today, only because it's about what you need to do for you. So let's get it started, right? Here we go. Books, right? So what does that mean? What does that mean for you? Books basically means start investing in what you need to do for you. When you read about something, you are doing your homework. You are investigating. You are looking into whatever it is that you need to do for you. When I say do your homework, it means looking up information. I don't know, say for example, okay, you want to buy a car, right? And, well, maybe I'll buy an American-made car because that's what so-and-so does, and they say it's amazing. But then maybe I should buy a foreign-made car because so-and-so has one of those, and they say they're amazing. And then so-and-so says that they have an electric car, and they said that's amazing. I don't know what to do. How about do your own research, okay, and figure it out for yourself what would benefit you the most, not what everybody else is doing. It's nice if you hear good reviews about different places or in materialistic things like cars and whatnot, because it kind of gives you an idea like, okay, it has a lot of good ratings, but is it something that I would truly enjoy? Is it something that I'm willing to invest in? Because no matter how good it is, it doesn't mean you need it or even want it for that matter. So the books basically means do your research. Do your research and see what it is you need. Now, as we move forward, don't mind me, I'm just shuffling some cards again because I want to pull another one for you. Let's start with that. Let's go there. Okay. Counseling. All right. So counseling for you in this instance basically means you don't need a therapist. I mean, if you do, by all means, go for it. But in this situation, this conversation, the counseling is maybe you need to look into talking to someone or some being or some divine person for guidance, right? Think about it. If you're going through a tough time in life, mentally, emotionally, whatever, you go to a counselor, you go to a therapist, right? You tell them this is what's going on with me, and what do? They help you to figure things out. Well, the same goes for your divine beings, okay? Or even your people right here on earth. If you're stuck and you need help, ask. Right? If you're trying to acquire something, ask. No matter what you need, ask. Because the world is your counselor, okay? The divine heavens are your counselor, your guides, your angels, your loved ones on the other side. They are all part of your counseling group, right? I need a sign. I need validation. I need a message. Help me out. I know I'm going to want to go in this direction, but I'm not sure what comes next after that. Ask and they will guide you, okay? So when it comes to this new year, new me thing, and, you're like, well, this is one of the things I put on my vision board, or this is what I put in my manifesting jar, or this is what I've asked for, but I don't know what to do first. Ask. Talk to your people, meditate, pray, however you want to do it. Just put it out there. What do I do first? Now we go back to the books card, right? Research, all right? So yes, if it's a car, then do some research. Again, a lot of times I think people misunderstand what it means to talk to the divine. They think that if you say, well, hey, I could really use a new car, then somehow magically they're just going to wave a magic wand and then you're going to run into a new car that you're just going to go, oh my God, that's the one. I don't think it really happens that quickly or easily. We need to do the work, and I think we have, as a society, have become quite lazy over these many, many, many years. And I mean, if you look back to, God, even when my father was a kid back in the 40s and 50s, it was like you had to work for everything. No matter what you needed, you had to do the work. You had to do the legwork. You had to do the research. And research back then was not like today. We can't just jump on a computer back then and say, oh, what kind of car should I buy? It was a lot involved. And over the years, yes, it's gotten easier for us, which in some instances it's nice, but in other instances, it's kind of made us a little lazy. And we're kind of like, well, I want this to happen. And then we just sit there and hope it happens. And it's like, God, no, you still have to do the work. So again, if it's a car, tell the universe what it is you want, what type of car, or if you just don't know, you say, guide me to the perfect car for me. Something that is economical, something that costs this much or less, something that will be, beneficial for me. It'll be easy to purchase, blah, 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 whatever you need, and then start doing your research. Look up different cars, look at different dealerships, look at different places, see what comes up, do your homework, right? And then, say, okay, I've kind of found this car that I really liked and I'm feeling like this could be the one. Can you give me a sign for validation? Whatever it is, ask your counseling group, as I call them. Don't just sit there and hope it's going to just fall into place, because it doesn't do it that way. Occasionally, small little things is like, oh God, I really wish this would happen. And all of a sudden, boom, it does. And it's like, oh my God, thank you. It can happen, but usually we have to do the work. It's all part of the process, right? So what comes after that? How do I get there? How do I do this? I don't know what to do. Okay, first of all, focus on your strengths. Focus on strength. Don't focus on weakness. Don't focus on negativity. Don't focus on the what ifs, okay? Because what if gets you nowhere. It's just words. Focus on your strength, not your weakness. Be courageous. Keep yourself in your heart center, which is love, not in fear, okay? And as I've explained many times, love and fear are really the only two emotions in the world that matter, because everything else is a category of either one. So don't be fearful, stay in love, okay? So if you're working towards, these different goals, whatever they may be, I mean, there's a million things you could be attempting to do. It could be small, it could be huge, it could be significant, it could be anything. You need to be in a positive space, okay? You need to be optimistic, hopeful. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, don't hold on to hope, because if it doesn't work out, you're more disappointed than anything. I'm like, no, be hopeful, but don't go in with expectations. Because when we expect, we're looking at an outcome we want to see. And when it doesn't happen, then we're like, oh my God, so upset, so mad, so discouraged. Just be hopeful and ask for the perfect thing for you. Like when I manifest, and I've told a lot of people this, and you've probably heard me say it, when manifesting, the best thing that you can do is say, I ask for this for my highest and best, the highest and best of everyone involved, better than I could ever imagine. Because a lot of times I have asked for certain things and they didn't happen. And I was like, I wonder why. And then when I really looked at it, I'm like, oh, okay, good. I'm glad it didn't happen. Thank you. Because again, they know more than we do. But again, it was for my highest and best, right? That it did not happen. So, go with the flow of things. Again, what you want and what you need are two different things. Remember that. So let's continue on. All right. Trust. Trust is the next one. I trust and believe everything's going to be okay. I trust and believe everything's going to fall into place right when it's supposed to. I trust and believe it's going to be fair. I trust and believe. this has gotten me through everything. And I've said this a million times. And you've probably heard me say it a million times. I trust and believe. Because again, when we're feeling down and we're feeling out and we're feeling like, oh, nothing's going to happen, nothing's going to work in our favor, you know what? I just trust and believe it's going to be perfect. Just as it is. And it usually always is. And I'm going to say it always is. Not usually, it is. Again, we may not understand it in the moment, but when all is said and done, and we've learned to stick with this, I trust and believe everything's going to be okay, it is. You know, and again, it may not go exactly in your favor, but there's a good reason for that. Maybe it's a life lesson. Maybe it's better for you that way. You know, sometimes what we think is the right thing is not always the right thing. But again, the universe knows. So trust and believe. Stick with your strength. Trust and believe. Do your homework. You know, everybody asks me all the time, you know, how do I do this and how do I do that? First of all, do the work. Be positive. Be optimistic. Be hopeful. Don't expect anything. Just go with the flow. Let go and allow. Because again, if we're trying to control situations, they don't work out as well either. Because again, you're going with what your wants are versus what your needs are. And therefore, when we try to control a situation, it just seems to get worse sometimes. Like, why do I keep hitting the wall? Why doesn't anything move forward? Why is this not unfolding for me? Don't control it. Go with it. Let go and allow. I have a very dear friend who was manifesting to move into one of my apartments that I have, and she kept saying, oh, I would really love to be there. I love to be there. I love to be there. I love to be there. And I know her well enough to know that as a friend, I could rent to her and it would be fine. And I was like, yeah. If anything ever happens, I'll let you know. And finally, after 2 years of hoping and and just constantly going, oh, are they moving out? Are they moving out? I really wish I could move in. Are they moving out? Are they moving out? I wish I could move in. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, no. I said, let it go. Eventually it'll happen. And she really didn't let it go. She kept thinking about it. It was like, it was consuming her and she was trying to control it, you know? And what happened was 2 years had gone by, like I said, and all of a sudden she's like, you know what? Forget it. It's not going to happen. I'm letting it go. I gave up. I'm done. I'm like, okay. The minute she let it go, I had an email that evening or the next morning. We're moving out. Okay, crazy, right? Crazy. Sometimes we hold on so tightly to something, you're not giving it the room to move, okay, energetically speaking. Let go and allow things to unfold. Everything, again, is timing. It really is. You know, where we wanted it yesterday, the universe may be saying it's not due until next year or later this year or not till next month or not till tomorrow or whatever. So be mindful of that. Stay strong, stay courageous, trust, believe, do your homework, do your work, get things done, right? This is how we make things happen. And now the mindset of it all, what do we do about the mindset? This is where your toolbox comes in, you know, and I've talked about the toolbox before, that figurative spiritual toolbox. What do you have in there that can keep you positive, can keep you in that mindset of trusting and believing? Now, first rule, and I've said this before too, is how many times have you heard, you know, you're only human. Well, yes, you are. You're only human right now. You're a spiritual being having a human existence, which means you're going to go through ups and downs. You're going to go through cycles and rhythms. In fact, that was my video this morning, was cycles and rhythms. And your energy it fluctuates. It does this. So what do you do when the energy dips down to the point where you're like, I give up, I can't do this anymore, I'm aggravated, I'm negative, I'm like, worst day ever, blah, 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 right? That's when you need that spiritual toolbox. And again, even if it goes back to the very beginning of this conversation, if you're looking to change this year, make changes, acquire things, be more positive, be more spiritual, be more whatever. You have got to, all these little pieces I give you, put those together and have this spiritual toolbox, I call it, where, okay, I'm having a real shit day today. What am I going to do with myself? And that's where you say, okay, what's in my spiritual toolbox that I can use to get me out of this feeling, this mindset that I'm stuck in at the moment? So let's start with number one, meditation. Okay, and again, meditation is not this crazy sit on the floor like a pretzel and om all night long. Excuse me. It can be something as simple as listening to a guided meditation. It can be just music, right? Instrumental music. It can be anything that puts you in a good state of mind. So you can try to clear your head and let go. 2, breathe, okay? And I don't just mean breathe to live. I mean deep breaths. Deep breath in through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do that 3 times. That will get you from this to this. From freaking out to calming down, okay? What's next? Journal, okay? Journaling is something that you can do. Get all those feelings of anxiety, stress, angst, whatever you want to call it. Get it out. Anger, okay? Sadness, frustration, upset, whatever you want to call it. Get it out, okay? Whether you type it on your computer as a Google Doc or you write it on a piece of paper. Personally, I like writing on the paper because my hand is like that force that just goes, and writes. And it's like, it just helps me to get it out. Tapping on keys doesn't do it for me. But write a letter, journal, okay? If you're upset with an individual or a certain situation, write a letter to that person or a situation and get all your frustrations and feelings out. Anything that you want to say, say it, okay? And now if you're writing that letter, then take it outside and burn it safely, okay? And if you're writing it in a journal, just get all your stuff out and shut the book and you're done. That's it. I'm done bitching and moaning. I'm done for the day, right? So meditation, breathing, journaling. Go for a walk, okay? Get out of the house, go for a walk. I don't care if it's freezing, because guess what? Put a coat on, put a hat on, get some mittens, your boots. This is New England. Do your thing. Get outside and go for a walk, even if it's a short one. But just getting out and being outside in that energy, that coolness, whatever it is, do it, okay? If it's a nice day, go for a long walk. Whatever you need to work all that off. I can say a lot of you guys know I've been walking since last summer. And even my friend who doesn't like walking alone will have a day where she's just like over the top with anxiety. And she's like, nope, I'm dropping everything. I'm going for a walk. I'll talk to you later, okay? And she takes off and she goes. And she's like, wow, I felt so much better after. Because it works. It works. So walking, go to the gym, lift some weights, do a cardio class, run the treadmill, punch a bag, whatever it is, do something that'll make you feel better. If you feel like you need to be alone, then by all means, whoever you live with, say, you know what, I just need some time to myself. So please, I'm going to go sit in my room. Just, can you not come and just don't disturb me? I just need some time alone. Do that, Obviously, I know if you're out there and you have kids and whatnot, you can't really hide. I get it. You know what I mean? But there's nothing saying you can't call a friend or a family member and say, hey, can you come and hang with the kids for a while? I just need some alone time. I'm just feeling so out of sorts that I just want to go cool off a little bit. Do that, And if you can't do that in the moment, you have all those other tools you can use, right? There's so many things that you could be doing. Practices that feel meditative, like if you like to draw or you like to paint or crochet or knit or sew or embroider or I don't know, I'm just trying to think what else is out there. Maybe it's woodworking, maybe it's playing an instrument, maybe it's getting out and taking pictures, going out and just listening to nature. Whatever it is, these are all things that you can put in your toolbox to keep you, as I call it, and I've been taught, above the line. And that means that there is this imaginary line right here and everything below it is negative, and everything above it is positive. So if you're feeling like your energy is dropping below that line, what are you going to do to bring your energy back up here? Go in your toolbox, right? Do the journaling, do the meditation, go for that walk, do whatever it takes. And you'll see the energy will come back up. Now, of course, if you really want your energy way up, then what can you do to get your energy way above the line? Way above the line, okay? Meaning you got your energy so up there that even if somebody comes in and says something that really gets to you, it might drop, but it's not going to run down below the line, okay? Because you've pumped yourself up with so much good energy that it's hard to break it all the way down unless somebody's just really being mean, okay? But anyway, let's keep ourselves above the line. So let's get way up above the line. So how are you going to do that? What is something that gets your energy pumping, gets it really up there? Okay, are you someone who likes to run, right? I know people that are runners, and when they get out there, they feel the adrenaline, and that just gets them, really pumped up. Maybe you're somebody who is in competitions with different sports things. If that's what it is, and then go practice that. That gets your energy way up. Hanging out with friends, calling someone, laughing, okay? And it's like, laughing? Yes, laughing. Think of how you feel when you're laughing. You ever been so angry or cranky and somebody says something so funny that it cracks you, so to say, like you just like, then you're like, yeah, and you start to, and I don't want to be happy, and it's like, oh my God, let it go, just be happy, laugh, okay? And laughter, they say laughter's the best medicine. I really think it is. I mean, think of how high energy is with laughter. Look at children. Oh my God, children. Oh my God, they're just so carefree and so open and loving, and their giggles. And I'm like, oh my God. So guess what? If you need laughter, watch a comedy, a movie, a comedian, a show that is always funny. Like, I have to say, I mean, to me, I love The Big Bang Theory. I've watched it a million times over and over and over, every season. And oh my God, laugh every day. How many times can you watch something and still laugh? I don't know, because I haven't gotten to the point I don't laugh anymore. It's just funny for me. I love that. I love Friends. I love comedians. I love funny movies. Videos. I mean, who doesn't sit here and on their phones and scroll watching videos? Oh my God. Pick videos of babies giggling, okay? Videos of animals are hysterical. Whatever it is, okay? So these are ideas for you to really, look at, like, oh yes, if I want to raise my energy, that I do like. I do like watching funny videos. I do like watching certain TV shows that are funny. I do like comedians. So your toolbox can be as full as you want it to be. Now, what happens is everybody seems to forget the toolbox. And I've worked with clients where they're like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. This is going on, that's going on. I don't know what to do, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, how's your energy? Oh, it's terrible. Okay, so what did you use in your toolbox? I didn't. It's like, okay. It's a new habit. Think about that. It's a new habit that you have to remind yourself to use. It's so easy to fall into that negative blah, blah, blah. I don't want to anymore. This is hard. But at the same time, it's like, no. If you want this, you have to work for it and do this to keep yourself where you need to be. So keep going. Keep doing your thing. Remember the toolbox. Whatever works for you. Get your stuff done. Okay? Remember the toolbox, remember your angels, remember your guides, your loved ones on the other side, who and whatever you connect with. I know, because everybody has different mindsets, different belief systems, and that's fine. I'm like, I don't care what your background is. Whatever it is, use it, okay? Use it. Because faith is a big deal. And in order to move forward with all these things we're trying to do is have faith. And first foremost is faith in your belief, but also faith in yourself. Because a lot of times that's one thing that falls off the wayside is people don't have faith in themselves. They really don't. And it's like, no. I don't know who told you way back when you were younger that you couldn't accomplish anything. Take that out of your mind, burn it, okay? Whatever it is, and know that you can do anything. You can do anything you put your mind to. I don't care what it is. So keep going. Don't give up. Remember, using your toolbox is a new habit you have to create. It doesn't happen overnight. So remember to keep pushing and keep going. And if you had a terrible day, good for you. It's going to happen. Okay? But it's a day. That's it. A day. Maybe even an hour. Not even a day. Okay? It happens. You're human. Remember we started with that a few minutes ago? You're a human being. So human beings have emotions. And they have trouble figuring things out and doing things and so on and so forth. And it's just, everything is a slow and steady progress. Allow yourself to be human, but allow yourself to have a tough time if you're having a tough time. It's part of the process. Life is a practice. Life will never be perfect, and you'll never find that perfect anything with life. All you can do is keep going, keep pushing forward, keep doing your best, even if your best is not getting out of bed for today. Right? What happens when you have one of those days? You feel like you're useless. You feel like you're being lazy. And it's like, what are people going to say? I'm like, who cares? Who cares? If you're having a day, have a day. Tomorrow's another day. Let's start again. And don't care what people say. Nobody cares. You're the only one. And I know that because I was there. Oh my God, what are they going to say? What are they going to think? I don't dress like they do. I don't look like they do. They seem like they're better people than I am. Oh, I've been there. I have been there, believe me. And I like to say that people with the biggest hearts are the first ones to question everything. And not that none of you have a heart, by all means, I don't mean that. It's just that sometimes I notice the people who have this huge, huge heart who always think of others way before themselves are the first ones to criticize themselves because they feel like their, I don't know, purpose maybe is to help everybody else, to fix everybody else. And then when they look at themselves, because they've been so busy fixing everybody else, they feel like they didn't get anything. Then they start that comparison thing. And it's like, don't do that. Don't do that. You are who you are, okay? Just remember that everything in life is about balance. Balance in taking care of others, but also taking care of yourself. The balance of knowing you're always good enough, no matter what you look like, okay? Worthiness. Oh my God, everybody is worthy. Everybody is worthy of everything they need, they want, so on and so forth. It's just stop the comparing, because these are the negative aspects that kind of fight against you when you're trying to manifest different things. And, that's where I guess we don't realize that it's affecting things. It's like, oh, I've been positive, I've been laughing, I've been doing this, I've been journaling, I've been blah, 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 blah. But yet in the back of our minds, we still have that thing that plays that, I'm not as good as that one. This will probably never work. And so again, it's a work in progress. We are a work in progress. Everybody has a big heart. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody is here to learn. Everybody is here to figure things out. Everybody needs to give themselves a break, right? So, family. So who's in your family? And I don't mean blood relatives. I mean your spiritual family. That's the first thing that comes up when I look at this because of the conversation we're having. If you're having a tough day and you're having trouble getting through your things, other than talking to your divine beings on the other side, whether they be angels, guides, loved ones, God, who do you talk to here? Who do you talk to here? Who is a part of your spiritual family? Who is there for you? Because like myself, being married before, I could never discuss with my ex anything spiritual, okay? Because he became quite very Catholic at one point, and it was like I was not a good person anymore. I was, as he put it, working with the devil, because, this work that I do is a big no-no. So that, that's a story for another time. But anyway, I didn't have anybody to express my feelings with when it came to my spiritual things, my manifesting, my feelings, my emotions, my physical connections, those kinds of things, all the spiritual work. And, I have my sister, of course. And luckily, as the years went by, I acquired many people in my life that were part of my spiritual family. They weren't just clients or customers. They were people that actually became part of my spiritual family, and I love them to death. And that there's people that have come and people that have gone, but everybody that I have come across in my spiritual family came to me at the perfect time. And even if they're not directly around me anymore, it doesn't mean they're not still part of my spiritual family, because obviously I run into some of them, time has gone by and it's like, oh my God, where have you been? But who is your family? Who is your spiritual family? Where are they and who are they? So you know who they are. So when you need that extra push or whatever it may be, call on your spiritual family. If you don't have people at home or your own blood relatives that you can talk to about your spiritual feelings and emotional feelings and whatnot, then call on your spiritual family. As some people say it, find your tribe, right? Your tribe is all your like-minded people. And sometimes we need that. We definitely need that. And if you don't have that, then guess what? Ask. I need to find like-minded people so I can grow spiritually, or I can grow emotionally, mentally, whatever, into a group that I can connect with on a like-minded basis. So, these are more things that can help you as you go into this year. Again, we all started in December, like, what do I want for next year? Well, now's the time to start working on that stuff. Again, it's not going to magically appear. And some small things might, who knows, right? Great. But for the most part, things aren't just going to fall out of the sky and go, boom, here you go. Here's this. Boom, here's that. Nobody's going to come running to your front door and say, hey, I got a job for you. Go do your homework. Do your research, okay? Connect with people that you can connect with to help with support, with understanding. If you're having a tough day, your spiritual toolbox, first and foremost, don't forget that spiritual toolbox. I'm feeling like crap today. What can I do to get myself out of this mode, right? Do that. Do that. All right? So let's say, as we come to a close, let's finish with, there it is, builder. So that's what we need to do, right? Your innate ability to build and create brings you a deep sense of accomplishment. Think of it this way. And for me, this has always been the thing where I've really noticed it. You ever, like, for example, okay, I know it's going to sound nasty, but this morning I emptied the trash in my kitchen and I had cleaned up after my cats and whatnot. So I had a bag of trash from them and I took the trash out to the dumpster. And having a clean and empty garbage pail in my kitchen and a clean cat box gave me a sense of accomplishment. Now that might sound a little weird, but you know what? Think about when there's garbage sitting there. What does it feel like when every time you open the garbage and it's full and nobody's emptying it and it's like, ugh, right? It's getting nasty. It's starting to stink. It's full. That sense of accomplishment is amazing. You finally purge that closet you haven't been wanting to do, right? You start ripping things out. What do I need? What don't I need? What can I donate? What needs to be thrown away? And then you put everything back nice and neat and folded and so on. And you're like, oh, this feels so good, right? Get to work. Because when you do the work and you get it done and your end result happens, you are like, wow, look what I did. Look what happened. I accomplished something I've been working towards for a while, and now I have done it. That sense of accomplishment is the most amazing feeling ever. It really is. I don't care if it's emptying the trash, cleaning a closet, okay? Or like myself, to be honest, I love to bake. For those of you who know me, I love to cook. And doing sourdough bread was very intimidating at one point, and now I can pop out sourdough bread like there's nobody's business, okay? And what a sense of accomplishment going through the work to create a loaf of bread, and the satisfaction and accomplishment, that feeling when you cut it open and it's just perfect. Does it sound kind of silly? Maybe to somebody, but for me, that was a big deal. It really was a big deal. And I know some of you are going to say, oh, well, sourdough's hard. It really isn't. It was only me getting in the way of it because I was overthinking it. Instead of just going with the flow of it, right? I would overthink it. I would be like, oh, but this one said this and that one said that. And now I'm so confused. Again, it goes back to what I said in the very beginning, which was you cannot use someone else's map to find yourself. You have to find yourself. And what I was doing was focusing on too many other people and how they were making bread versus taking what I've learned and just doing it for myself. And therefore, once I decided to let go, I went, oh my God, this is so easy. This is so easy, right? Let go and allow things to flow, right? So if things haven't started moving for you in this new year, and I know it's only the 20, whatever day it is. I'm stuck. What day is it? 22nd. Sorry. It's only the 22nd. So we're 3 weeks in, okay? Granted, maybe not a lot is happening, but even if it's just thoughts, it's ideas, it's a mindset, whatever it may be, start there and start moving towards what it is you want. You know, sitting there going, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. What should I do first? Blah, 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 blah. Think. Stop and just do what you need to do. Research. And if you're having a tough time, use your toolbox. Positivity, affirmations, intentions, manifesting, journaling, breathing, getting outside, meditating, whatever, okay? You know what works for you. Do that. So with that being said, one last time, remember, you cannot use someone else's map to find yourself. So make sure you create your own map. You be the builder. Create your own map, your own path, and go after what you want. And make this year an amazing year. Have a great night, everybody.